make of this Chinese spying on the Dalai Lama? Because as I said, no one in India can ever doubt the loyalty or the allegiance of the Tibetan community in India or anyone else to the Dalai Lama. For most of you, he is right after the Buddha. So what do you think the intention of this spying could perhaps be?
Yes, I think with this Hawala racket that we have seen since a few years, especially now, we have learned how this systematic foreign infiltration in this case, the Chinese government infiltration of India is threatening upon the integrity and sovereignty of this nation. We have seen how it's not just about Dalai Lama, it's about threatening the defense and security of India. Therefore, China, what it's doing is they either use their police force, their army, or on the other hand, what they use is they use the United Front Work Department. It's a very, very important weapon that they use. They use that to infiltrate within the community, spread a sort of a wrong notion, Chinese propaganda, and take away information from that community back to their bosses. So this is what has been going on. And sadly enough, it's not the first time that has happened in India. We have had these sort of cases before. It's just that it's not been covered widely on national television. I'm happy that it's finally being done. And as you said, the loyalty and the allegiance and the reverence of the Tibetans towards His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been unquestionable. And I believe that the government of India and the people understands and believes that our allegiance and love towards India is equally important. However, what China is doing is they are seeping upon these sort of cracks and weaknesses to see if their benefit could be gained. And in this case, what they're doing is trying to find out, take away information regarding His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the exiled government, and to see if there's any possibility of weakening our movement, which is what is making their government very unstable. And that's something that the Chinese government does not want.
Ms. Dolkar, I want to understand from you, and I want you to make our viewers understand what exact problem the Chinese have with the Dalai Lama picking his own successor. Because for the last 600 years, perhaps more, but I've read the last 600 years, the tradition is that the Dalai Lama picks his own successor. It could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be a child, it could be an adult. The Dalai Lama, of course, says that I'll live on till 113. That's what I have dreamt. And so I'm in no hurry to pick a successor. I'll wait for 5-6 years and then see. And God give him a long, long life. We all hope and pray for his well-being. But what exactly is China's problem with the Dalai Lama picking his own successor?
Well, we're talking about this Chinese Communist government that is apparently atheist. But what it does is when it comes to the Tibetans, when it comes to the Southern Mongolians or the Uyghurs, for them it's a Muslim religion, and for us it's the Buddhism. What they do is this so-called atheist government, when it comes to dealing with us, the so-called minority, ethnic minority, they make sure to use every strong mechanism possible. And they know that when it comes to the Tibetans, it's Tibetan Buddhism. And when it comes to Tibetan Buddhism, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is top of his game. So what they do is they know that whether His Holiness still lives in Tibet or not, because he's now in India, they know that even if he lives outside Tibet, the influence, the indirect influence through our reverence, through our love and respect for him still exists very, very strongly inside Tibet. And therefore, they believe that Tibetans inside Tibet will and had been revolting against the atrocities of the Chinese government through his influence. They have been accusing His Holiness on different means, calling him horrendous names without any shame, which I'm not surprised when it comes to Chinese government. But what they do is they know that this is how strong he can be. And therefore, for the stability of the Chinese Communist regime within China and over the occupied nations like Tibet, they know that they need these important people. Correct. And here is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we hope and pray he lives to 113 and even more. But what they know is the future of Tibet, the future of their regime will be dependent upon by this one individual. So what they do is they want to control the successor, like they've done with the Panchen Lama, who is the second highest authority.
And he's
now
not missing.
They're repeating the history.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't know where the Panchen Rinpoche, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama has acknowledged where he is. We don't know where he is. We don't know whether he's alive or not. What the Chinese Communist government has done to them. Now what they're doing is they're trying to repeat the history by taking control over the successor of His Holiness the Dalai Lama.